At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. You are watching Coffee with Kruger on this Monday morning, June 10th. We're already 10 days into June. Hey, by the way, 10 days away from the 1-year anniversary of Weather NorCal. Can you believe it? For those of you who have been watching me for that time, can you believe I've been doing this for almost a year? 10 days away. Lisa's saying happy Monday, drink lots of water, and stay safe, everyone. You know, I'd like to make a comment, and they're not necessarily trolls, but I just think it's people who've lived here their entire lives and are used to the heat, and I get it. But we really do have to take this heat seriously, even though you're used to it, because it's just a way of reminding. Because, for example, the National Weather Service has issued an excessive heat warning, okay, starting tomorrow. And there are a lot of you who are just kind of, they're poo-pooing it off. This is normal heat. This is normal heat. Yeah, okay, it may be something that we're used to and we see a lot around here, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to speed every day at 100 miles an hour and you do it every single day, and let's say you survive and you do it, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous, right? I don't know if that was the best analogy, but you know what I'm talking about. We need to be careful out there. So Lisa, yes, thank you. Good reminder. Drink lots of water and stay safe. Again, these are friendly reminders. These are not, I'm telling you what to do. And because I'm not about that. I'm not about saying, hey, this is what you have to do. No, I'm just saying, just friendly reminders to kind of remind yourself, hey, you know what? I should probably drink a little bit more water than normal instead of coffee that dehydrates you. But I'm still going to have my coffee anyways, and I'm going to supplement it with water. Because I do plan on going out and getting some exercise today, especially this morning, probably when it's still cooler out there. Clanging of the coffee mugs. Well, yes, it is Monday, June 10th, so glad you could join us out there this morning. Let's get you out the door. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures. Maybe you're saying, all right, let's get to the forecast. Let's see what's going on out there. Well, here we go. Temperatures are mild again to start off the day. We're still in the 70s. It did drop down to the upper 60s for Redding, but now we're back up to 73. It does not take long, folks. 68 degrees for Chico, 53 degrees right now in Susanville and Alturas. Bernie, a little bit cooler at about 47, 48 for Chester, and low 50s right now along the coast. And let's take a look. Oh boy, what happened here? I think I pushed something on my keyboard here, and it did something. But we'll get it going. Take a look at the visibility out there. And actually, visibility is a little bit lower out along the coast. And why is that, you might be asking? Well, take a look at this. This is what it looks like out in Crescent City. Again, it's not like really low clouds or really dense fog out there, but yeah, there's a little bit of fog out there, and that what we call that low stratus deck. This is out at Crescent City at the Harbor District. We take you to the south. We do have some of that fog and some of those lower clouds kind of rolling over the hills, because keep in mind that image that you see there, that on the other side of those hills is pretty much where the ocean is. So that's looking out at Elk Country. This is just north of Trinidad. So again, we're looking at some of that lower visibility along the coast. So just kind of keep that in mind. I think that's going to start to dissipate here throughout the day. So again, we've got that fog this morning as you head out the door on the coast. Otherwise, sunny skies elsewhere. Temperatures in the 70s for the valley. We're in the 60s for many of the higher elevations, and even upper 50s for places like Modoc County. So here are your winds. Not that bad this morning. This is pretty standard, pretty typical. It'll pick up a little bit this afternoon. And of course, dying down again here for parts of the valley, but still from the north for the coast. What does that mean for our fire weather risk? Well, it's in that moderate to high range. Yellows indicate that moderate range, orange getting the high range, dark orange into that, even a little bit of that red would indicate the very high. We're not in the very high range. And again, it's mainly because the winds won't be as strong as they will be tomorrow. And we're going to talk about that fire danger going into tomorrow. But look at the ridge of high pressure in place. It's keeping us under the mainly sunny skies, minus, of course, the low clouds we have along the coast. And some of those low clouds may be persistent through a good portion of the day today and then kind of reestablish itself. So some of those inland valleys kind of near the coast, places like, Ferndale, maybe even as far south as Garberville, all seeing the potential for seeing some of that fog again going into tonight. It even looks like even north of Eureka out towards Crescent City as well. There's the excessive heat warning. Won't take effect until tomorrow morning, though, 11 a.m. as a matter of fact, and then will expire Wednesday evening. Now, again, part of the equation for an excessive heat warning is not just the daytime highs, but when the overnight lows are warm as well. And when you have a hard time breaking below that 75-degree mark, that's when you start seeing those warm temperatures overnight, and that can make things pretty hot. Gets us pretty hot out there. So as we go into Tuesday, we're getting that major heat risk category. And again, we have to remind ourselves when we start getting into that 105, 106 degrees, that can affect anyone. So if you don't have the proper cooling, if you don't have the proper hydration, then this can be, a more dangerous situation for you because you got to make sure you stay cool. You got to make sure that you stay hydrated, right? If you don't have AC and your swamp cooler is not working properly or whatnot, you've got to find a way to stay cool. Temperatures today, it's getting hot. 103 degrees for Redding, 102 for Corning. It's 100 degrees or higher for us in the valley. We're starting off the work week hot, and believe it or not, it's going to get even hotter by tomorrow. Temperatures 80s and 90s for the higher elevations and in the low 60s along the coast. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound nice indeed? Temperatures getting warmer. The peak of the warming trend will be Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when we have the excessive heat warning in the valley. But temperatures dropping back down below 100 degrees by the end of the week. And in the low 90s by Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, there's relief in sight, but we've got to get through this week first. Now, of course, temperatures low 60s for the coast. No big changes there. Inland, you're going to actually see a drop on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then they drop even more going into Friday and Saturday. For Mount Shasta, we're going to be in the low 90s pretty much through Thursday, down to the 70s by the weekend. Mid 70s El Turris, low to mid 80s for Susanville. So yeah, it's cooling off by the weekend. There's a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. The winds are not blowing. The ducks are hanging out in the water and enjoying it. There you can see Main Street, Chico on Highway 32. Looks like traffic is okay there. Hanging out at the red light. There you can see Highway 99 at Neal Road. Looks like we got some big trucks out on the road already this morning. Of course, that's pretty typical. And taking a look at Highway 44, Sundial Bridge Drive. Looks like that traffic is flowing pretty smoothly there. By the way, I want to remind you, you can send those pictures. I check them. I try to check them every day. Checked them this morning, and man, look at this. Thank you, Jerry Jordan, for sending in this. This was sent on Friday. So there were some thunderstorms that we saw in the higher elevations, not only Friday, but through the weekend in this kind of same general area. So off in the distance is Eddy Mountains. And this is an image coming in from Lake Shastina. Look at that. Come on. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, you can see that smaller lake, and then it looks like that is most likely Lake Shastina, kind of off in the distance there. But look at you see the clouds there. Then, of course, coming from the rain clouds, you can see that kind of streaks coming down from the clouds. That's the rain. That's the rain, and it looks pretty heavy too. There may have even been some lightning strikes up in that area as well. This is a picture I took out at La Vineyard Farms in Whitmore. My wife and I went out there to shoot our ag report here. You're going to see that here in the coming weeks. But just a gorgeous sight. And I learned a lot about lavender, that there are hundreds of different types of lavender, and not all of them are purple. Some of them have, there's just so many wide varieties, but we got a chance to check out there. My wife did some cloning and just kind of a little bit of harvesting. So we've got some fresh lavender in the house. It's very nice. This is courtesy of Chris. Now this is, I believe, out in the Modoc County area. He didn't say exactly where he took this picture from, but this is one of the thunderheads that we saw in Modoc County. And of course, there were thunderstorms in the eastern mountains as well. So thank you, Chris, for sending this image. And here's what's really cool. Two of you were kind of in the same area around the same time, because Michelle Slade sent this picture heading towards Aden. So this is looking north-northeast, and you can see this about the same. There's a different time of that thunderstorm, but kind of the same. That was most likely the same thunderstorm. It was the same date. I noticed this timestamp on the image. So yeah, that was most likely the same thunderhead that we saw up there in Modoc County. So I want to thank you for sending in those images. Thank you, Michelle and Chris and everybody else. If you want to share your photos, share them from the free Weather NorCal app. And here's the thing. I want to encourage you, and I'm going to start sharing more photos during, especially my morning weathercast, not just on Coffee with Kruger, but my morning weathercast as well. And maybe eventually, if I can get enough pictures from you guys, it just keep coming in, maybe do a photo contest. You know, maybe get some incentive there to win some free Weather NorCal swag from your, from the pictures that you send. So let's try to get that going. Send those photos. Whether it's a thunderstorm, whether it's just a beautiful sunny day, whether it's bees on a flower, whether it's you're heading out to the lavender farms, all kinds of great things. Check it out. Go to the free Weather NorCal app and download your photo today. And there, of course, is the free Weather NorCal app. Search for Weather NorCal in your app store. You can also watch Coffee with Kruger. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel, and you can also, from the YouTube app on your TV, if you have a smart TV with YouTube on it, you can watch my latest forecast on demand. If you have Fire TV, Roku, download the app there. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. So a lot of great resources that we have here at Weather NorCal. All right, let's take a look at Turtle Bay. Turtle Bay, Wonderful World of Animals, sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. Hello everyone, Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal. This is another edition of Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. We got Sharon Clay and Monroe. This is one of your favorites, right? I mean,
I don't have favorites.
I'm sorry. I tell you what. But you've had Monroe for a long time.
I've been with her for 27 years.
So that's kind of a favorite-ish.
It's a long time to be with an animal.
A long time, not a favorite. All right.
I adore them all very much.
They are amazing.
Yes, and she's been with me a very long time, and she's an umbrella cockatoo.
Umbrella cockatoo. So that means when it rains, she doesn't get wet?
That's exactly right.
All right.
All birds that don't have umbrellas attached to them, they can't fly, but she has an umbrella built in, so she's good in the rain.
Awesome.
No. So cockatoos are all named, there you go, she lifted it up. So they're all named by either the shape or the color of the crest. And so hers is this like big umbrella.
Yeah.
Some of them are like thin and stuff like that, and maybe they just have like maybe they're yellow or pink or stuff like that. But hers is like this big umbrella shaped, so that's how she gets her name, the umbrella cockatoo.
Now I noticed, because we actually did a segment about a week ago about the wings on the other side. I noticed on the Turaco.
Right.
I noticed that on Monroe, yellow underneath the wings. Is there a reason for that?
Again, it's just going to be, I don't actually know why they have yellow. I don't know.
I stumped Sharon
I
Clay.
don't know why they have yellow.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it is a breeding thing. Maybe it is if I'm more yellow, I don't know.
You probably got an educated guess, but that's okay. I'll forgive you this time, and I think everybody will too.
Monroe, can I have a kiss, please? Can I have a kiss? Thank you. That makes me feel a lot better. I was feeling a little insecure there for a minute. I needed a little pick-me-up there from her. Can I have another one? Thank you. Okay. All right, we're good now. So, what else you want to ask me?
Well, we were talking about earlier too about their claws, right?
Yeah. So this is the thing that's pretty great about them. So we were just talking about the colors, right? So we said the colors of the Turaco was a true pigmentation, and everyone else it's more structural. It's it's the reflection of the light. What's really cool about cockatoos though is they're all white, and so the white on their feathers, her being all white, is like a zebra. It's called disruptive camouflage. So they're camouflaging with each other. So a predator can't tell where one bird stops and the next one starts.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so they fly in these big giant flocks of hundreds, and that's why they're all white. Now, they will always have darker primary feathers because light-colored feathers are actually weaker than darker colors.
Okay,
Which
so yeah.
maybe that's the yellow. I don't know.
That could be it. Hey, maybe
That's it.
you
I
can
don't know.
Google it.
We'll Google it. Google's smarter than I am. Yeah. So, all right. So anyway, let's finish talking a little bit about these guys. It's so great. So the thing that's amazing about thing that you know about parrots in general, no matter whether it's a cockatoo, a cockatiel, a parakeet, whether it's a conure, Amazon parrot,
See, she's
macaw,
so smart. See?
doesn't matter.
Look at her go.
If it is a member of the parrot family, which overall, if you want the scientific name, they're called psittacines. If you're looking at a psittacine, they have what's called a zygodactyl foot. And it is my favorite word of all.
Zygodactyl.
Zygodactyl. I mean, that's pretty cool.
that is fun to say.
The zygodactyl foot.
Zygodactyl foot. All right.
Yes. So it means that they have 2 toes forward and 2 toes back.
Okay.
And it acts just like our thumb. So other birds have zygodactyls, or anyone that hangs onto trees, like woodpeckers around here. So woodpeckers have a zygodactyl foot. 2 forward and 2 back, acts like our thumb, and it's great for climbing.
So
And holding
next time
on to
I'm out in the
things.
wild and I see a zygot, I can impress my friends. Check out the zygodactyl foot on that bird over
That's
there.
right. That's right. All right, so you want to see her use it. Now,
Yeah.
also their beaks are very strong. They can hold up their entire weight just using their beak. So we think it's pretty cool to do like, chin-ups and pull-ups and
Yeah.
stuff, but try doing it with your teeth.
No thanks.
Yeah, that would be a little bit different.
My
And
dentist
that's
would not like
basically
that.
what they're doing. They can hold it up, and they'll be in the forest, climbing around vines and tree branches, and you can see the zygodactyl foot
Yeah.
working right there. She can just hang on. Again, it's just like us using monkey bars. It's the same use as our thumbs.
And they're totally
So-
cool just hanging out there.
Yep.
Oh, now she's kind of climbing down.
Yep, and she'll show you how she can just climb. She can head right down. And so they got very powerful beaks. The beaks are used for holding their body. They're using for breaking into tough skin fruit. They're used for breaking open thick nuts. And if I give her a nut, you can watch her crack it really quickly and then usually use her foot to hold on to it. So, like I said, that zygodactyl foot is used just like our thumb.
Wow, that's pretty
holding,
neat.
grabbing, climbing. Yeah.
I love how it kind of picks out the top and then just kind of goes in there and eats up.
And that's what that tip of that beak is for. Yeah, look at her tongue go. They've got the weirdest little tongue. And we can tell that she's a female by the color of her eyes.
Yeah, that's neat because if they're, so the female kind of has the brighter brown.
Yeah,
or
like a
red.
brownish red
Yeah.
color. And like if you remember Gidget, he had all black eyes,
Yeah.
so he's a male.
So it's a male. All right,
Yes,
good.
so-
Well, Sharon, I appreciate you, and what a great, and I'll forgive you about the yellow wings, but you really made up for with all the other different bird names and the zygodactyl and all those scientific terms. So if you doubted if she was smart or not, she's very smart. She knows what she's talking about. All right, yeah, okay, all right. So thank you, Monroe. Thank you, Sharon, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. All right, well, that was a fun segment. Monroe really was kind of fun to hang out with here and, learn a lot of great things about it. So Sharon, yeah, she does know. I love that. Zygodactyl. Kind of fun to say. Say that about 10 times. And eventually you'll that is a weird sounding word, but very interesting. I was kind of checking out some of the comments here during the segment here, and looks like Bill's saying, good morning, you've been busy, haven't joined in a while. Thank you and have a great day, everyone. So yeah, I love to see you guys come back. I know you can't probably come every morning, but I certainly appreciate it when for those of you that come back and those of you that can just kind of check in every once in a while. Curtis saying, been busy in the vineyard lately too, trying to beat the heat. More work this week, the vineyard. All right, maybe enjoy some of the fine wines coming in from 7 miles west of Red Bluff from Curtis. And of course, Lisa's saying have a great morning as well. Well, what do you say we get to the main forecast here and get you through the day? We got to, of course, mention our sponsor, which is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Well, looking at the current temperatures out there right now, when we talk about these excessive heat warnings and watches and all that good stuff, one of the, you always think, oh, it's because it's going to be hot during the day. Yes, that's one part of the equation. But see, the thing is, usually at night it cools off, and that gives us time to recover from the heat that we've seen throughout the day. But when you're dealing with temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s, and even low to mid 70s, that's warm. So we don't really have as much time to cool off. I'm noticing even my dog, she's pretty sensitive to the heat. And she loves to sleep outside at night, and she'll usually do that on those cool nights. But during these heat waves, when it's not cooling off at night, she stays inside with us in the air conditioning. So even the dog is a good indicator of like, hey, you know what, let's get inside in the cooler air. But 73 right now in Redding, 68 in Chico, a bit cooler there. And I mean, even though that's much cooler, 53 is much cooler than 73, that's still pretty warm even in the mountains. 47 degrees for Bernie, and we've got those low 50s right now along the coast. So a hot start to the week, mainly sunny and dry, including the mountains. You know, the mountains has seen some pretty strong thunderstorms over the weekend. That should become a thing of the past. I don't anticipate any more activity here today and really for the rest of the week and through the weekend. Not as hot near the end of the week. In fact, more pleasant for your Father's Day weekend. We'll take a look at that extended outlook here in just a bit. But there you can see the winds are fairly calm across the board here. A pretty typical calm start to the day. But the winds may be picking up here later this afternoon. A little breezy for the valley, and of course breezy along the coast as well. Now, as we go into Tuesday, what you'll notice here, the winds are a little bit stronger in the morning for the valley, and even more so by the afternoon. We can even see gusts close to 30 miles per hour, strong gusty winds along the coast as well. That will probably elevate that fire danger as those winds pick up, because the heat, keep in mind, is getting hotter by tomorrow and Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, still a little breezy in the morning hours as well. And it looks like the wind should die down a little bit for Wednesday afternoon. And there you can see those strong north winds for the coast, westerly winds for the eastern mountains. Now, we take a look at the humidity, and you're down to the single digits and lower teens. And see, again, this is kind of just elevating things, not only for a fire danger now, but it's continuing to take any moisture we have in the fuels. It's beginning to take a lot of that moisture out, especially when those winds begin to pick up. So very low relative humidities over the next few days. And that's not unusual for us, but what that does for us is it gives us the moderate to high fire risk for today. Tomorrow, look at this. Look at this big area of dark orange and even red. Now we're getting into the very high range. These are going to be some of the highest fire risks that we've seen so far for the season for tomorrow. Again, it's the combination of the hotter temperatures tomorrow, the stronger winds, and of course the low humidity. As the winds die down a little bit on Wednesday, that should decrease that fire danger a little bit here. So just again, a quick friendly reminder about what to do to help prevent any new fires from starting is don't drive on dry grass, right? Especially if you've got those gas engines and the catalytic converters, and I don't know, I don't even know if the catalytic converter is what you need to look out for, but bottom line, the bottom of your car can get very hot, and that can spark a fire on those dry fuels. Also, if you're towing a trailer, you've got those chains, right? You don't want to make sure they're dragging on the ground because as they go on the road, because that can create sparks, which then the sparks can hit that dry fuel right next to it. Never. I mean, the thing is, I shouldn't have to say this, but I see it a lot, and it's frustrating. Just don't toss your cigarettes out of your car. Just don't. Toss them later in the trash can, right? Use grills on gravel and paved surface. Mow the lawn early in the morning and when it's not windy and excessively dry. Okay, so when we talk about those winds kind of picking up, not a good idea to mow the lawn, especially if you're mowing the drier grasses, right? Never leave fires unattended, and always extinguish them properly. Okay, so we've got this ridge of high pressure that's in place. That's why we've got the sunny skies. I mean, you can clearly see the clouds kind of moving up and over that ridge. Now, that ridge is what's going to be the dominating, is going to dominate our weather pattern over the next couple of days. Here's today. We go to Tuesday, Wednesday. You see how this is building, but the heat that we saw last week is actually returning, and it's heading northward again. So the combination of the two is creating this broad, weak ridge of high pressure, but strong enough to give us those hot temperatures. Now, this right here is an area of low pressure. It's a little bit more in the way of mild air, not quite as hot as what you're seeing here. So this is also helping to prevent those temperatures from getting as hot as they could. But another contributing factor, and a bigger factor really, are these storms riding to the north. So instead of having this big ridge like this, it's fairly flattened out because these are barreling over it, keeping those temperatures from increasing a whole lot. By the time we get into the end of the week, that is all pushing to the south. We've got cooler air approaching, so temperatures start to drop as we approach the weekend. By the weekend, And into early next week, look at this, big trough of low pressure diving in from the south, not from the north, that is, moving southward. That'll cool our temperatures down, probably closer to right around normal for this time of the year, actually. And then we also have maybe a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the mountains by then, but that's still a long ways out. Your temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, mainly in that near normal category. So again, we're in the transition between the cooler air to our north and that warmer air to our south. So that's what it's looking like temperature-wise. And you can, of course, talk about the excessive heat risk that we have out there, or the heat risk coming from the National Weather Service. Mainly in the oranges for us today, that's putting us in that moderate range. But by tomorrow, when the excessive heat warning takes in effect, that's when we do have the major heat risk. That can affect anyone. When you're talking temperatures of 105 degrees or higher, you don't hydrate yourself properly, you overexert yourself, you can be impacted by the heat, and it can be dangerous. Now, as we go into Wednesday, you see how it's kind of backing off a little bit. I think the peak will be around Tuesday, Wednesday. Then look at this, by Thursday, we're getting more in the minor to moderate category. By Friday, mainly within that minor category. So conditions are improving, especially as we go toward the end of the week. So you can see that trend. It's peaking Tuesday, Wednesday in the valley. Temperatures dip Thursday, Friday. They dip even more by the time we get into the weekend. For the mountains, out in Mount Shasta, there you can see those temperatures well above normal, but we're closer to normal by the time we do get into this upcoming weekend. In Weaverville, most likely looking at temperatures upper 90s. If we see some triple digits by Wednesday, not out of the question. And then temperatures should drop back down into the low to mid 80s by Saturday, Sunday. On the coast, you do this, right, just to kind of show you this flat line here. The normal high on the coast this time of the year is 62. That's about where we're going to be here as we go into the next 7 days. So here's the big picture as far as any chances for rain are concerned. A few clouds coming in by midweek. This is the cooler air. You see the spin? This is diving southward. That's the cooler air I was talking about coming in by around Sunday, Monday of next week. It's also bringing us a chance for a few isolated showers or maybe some thunderstorms, especially to the north and northeastern portions of California. Taking a look at your wave heights today, they are going to be fairly low. It looks like they'll drop even more by the time we do get into tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, they'll probably start to increase again. So we take a look at our marine forecast. There actually is a small correct advisory today with those north winds at about 10 to 15 knots. Your waves from the north at 8 feet at 7 seconds and from the west at 4 feet at 11 seconds. Here's what it looks like out there today. Looking at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, most likely staying below 100 degrees during this heat wave, but you know, we could possibly touch 100 by Wednesday for some of us in Trinity County. But there you can see along the Highway 299 corridor today, temperatures anywhere from the upper 80s as you get closer to Weaverville, upper 90s. There you can see Douglas City about 100 degrees. 94 degrees out in Hayfork, 87 degrees for Forest Glen and Ruth, about 92 degrees. For southern Humboldt County, for your north coast forecast, Honeydew about 80, 79 degrees for Miranda, and there's Garberville with a high of about 86 degrees today. We take you out to Ferndale, Fortuna, Hydesville, even Rio Dell. Temperatures mainly in the mid 60s, although a little bit cooler in Ferndale with about 62 degrees. 71 degrees for Blue Lake, 92 in Hoopa, 94 in Willow Creek. It is heating up, especially as you start heading into those inland areas with 95 in Orleans, 81 though for Gas Key. There's Klamath about 68 and 69 degrees for a high today in Oric. And your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. There you can see the Highway 96 corridor there. Temperatures mainly in the low to maybe even some mid-90s. 92 degrees for Hornbrook, Wairika about 90, as well as Montague, Grenada, and not to mention Gazelle. Take it south in Scott Valley with 85 degrees in Fort Jones, 90 though in Callahan, 89 degrees for Greenview and Etna, about 88 degrees. Take you up to the north and east, you can see some of the cooler temperatures off towards northeastern Siskiyou County, otherwise 87 for Weed, 90 for Mount Shasta City, and of course you can see about 85 degrees for Fort Bidwell, 86 for Alturas, 87 degrees in Likely, and 84 degrees in Aden. Notice in the 7-day forecasts here, we're not seeing any showers or thunderstorms in the mountains, just continuing to see sunny skies, and not to mention those warm temperatures. Looking at Bernie, you're going to be in the low 90s today, 88 degrees out in Lake Elminor. There's a look at your 7-day outlook for Lassen Park and Chester. Looking at those sunny skies in the forecast, as I mentioned, no thunderstorms in the forecast anytime soon. Taking a look at that 7-day outlook for the eastern mountains in Paradise and Susanville, There, of course, we're looking at those temperatures in the 80s by the time we get closer to the weekend. Your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south brought to you by NorCal Tractor. 102 degrees out in Red Bluff, 102 for Los Molinos, Durham about 102 degrees, 102 for the city of Shasta Lake, 96 in Lakehead, 99 for Whiskeytown, and Redding a high of about 103 degrees. There's your 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures will peak around Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're in the upper 90s by Thursday and Friday. And of course, we're looking at those temperatures dropping by the weekend. For Father's Day, a high of 92 degrees. So it does look like we are going to see much more pleasant weather by the time we get into the second, is really the weekend. So if you have any Father's Day plans outdoor, maybe a hike, well, I think it's going to be a good weekend for it. You know, maybe I just thought of it. I think I know what I want to do with Aiden on Father's Day. He's going on a hike with me. I'm going to make him wake up, and we're going to go on a nice hike. I'm still trying to figure out what that's going to be. I've got a whole week to do that, so we'll certainly kind of take a look at that. But definitely looking forward to that. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to spend time with their kid? I'm looking up at another. I've got all these monitors, by the way. I've got one up here where I'm looking at, another one over here, another one down here, and then right here, and then there's the camera. If I could have the camera just follow my eyes so I could be looking at you. But yeah, I'm really excited, by the way, because Weather NorCal is growing. It's growing slowly, but it is growing. And there are some behind-the-scenes improvements that I am making to the 24-hour streaming channel. So I'm really excited about that. Just to kind of give you an idea, the 24-hour streaming channel is actually housed out somewhere on the East Coast. So all of my videos and everything that you're seeing, it goes through the internet to their computer, and then it streams from their computer so that you can watch it. I have to go into some, remote computer, and if I make any changes to it, and it's a bit laggy, it's all that stuff. But I had to spend some money, and it wasn't cheap, but I had to spend some money and get some software to put onto a Mac computer, which I've got, and that will allow me to, so I've got it up and running, ready to go, but I'm just kind of running a test just to make sure that it, for about a week or so, just to make sure that it works properly, and we'll be good to go, and we can just flip the switch, and boom, before you know it, that 24-hour streaming channel is now coming from my studio, not from some random studio somewhere else. So again, just kind of a little behind the scenes look that I was telling you about here. But yeah, that is going to do it for us today, folks. Just make sure you get out. The thing is, we did cool off a little bit here over the weekend. But keep in mind, we're going to be back to 100 degrees and higher. So just be prepared for those hot temperatures. We are going to leave you with some images coming in from, well, starting off with Lake Oroville. So have yourselves a great day. Stay cool, stay safe, take breaks if you work outside, drink plenty of water, and we'll see you right here tomorrow morning, bright and early, on Coffee with Kruger.